So let's just talk about the power of change to competitive greatness, because when you're talking about self-talk, we all have that. And if we're saying things to ourselves that are not for us, it really puts us in a place of doubting, whether A, are we capable? Do we want this? And the amount of energy that goes into this machine up here that's like, for you, not for you, all that kind of stuff. So what are some winning strategies that you learned to change, to go from change to competing really for you?
I think, like what you described, it is exhausting to put that much energy into not only being hard on yourself, but just focusing so much pressure on yourself. I think there's always the girl on the team when you're younger, maybe when you're older, who, like, I was the girl who had to cry in the bathroom. I had to get subbed out because I was so mental. There were all these things that were performance barriers happening. And it was so exhausting, and it was hard for me to enjoy the sport I was playing. It wasn't fun for me. It wasn't fun for my teammates, for my parents watching who were getting mad at my attitude. So I think just giving myself some perspective, knowing that everyone goes through these challenges, knowing that there's going to be a little push and tug in your sport with not only how you're playing, but how you're approaching your play, how you feel when you play, when you're not playing and you're thinking about it, and kind of those thoughts. So I just had to give myself perspective, I think, is the biggest thing, both in and out of the game. Whether it's a moment where I'm in the game and I just need to take a second, breathe, and say,
huge winning strategy.
Breathing. Khalia, it is not that serious. It is just a game at the end of the day, and I know you want it so bad. And at the end of the day, we're reacting this way because we care. We want to be great. So don't fault the girl on the team if you're her, if you know her. But
be for her.
Don't be another performance barrier. Just kind of give yourself some perspective. Breathing is something really great. The mindfulness and practicing those different techniques that can kind of slow the moment down, give you some grounding, I think is the best word. I also think for me, being in Italy, something that I noticed is seeing my mom in the stands. Actually, it was something that was taken away from me, and not everyone has that, but it was just something that I could always point out at USC that was my little grounding factor. So when I was in Italy, I kind of had to, that was a performance barrier. I had to figure out ways that I could ground myself, because when you're in the game, sometimes it feels like, I don't even know how to describe it, you're in the air and all these things are going on and all your thoughts are going so fast and intrusive and all these different things.
It's just noisy in there.
Exactly. It's hard to describe, another place that you kind of go into. So when I was in Italy, whether it was my serve and breathing and finding literally a physical spot to look at on the ground, but just little things like that. But I do think perspective is the biggest gift that I think I've cultivated that helps.
So team, what you're hearing, if we want to just make sure that you're coached up to be able to really use these same tools, is performance barrier is the tool, and then you identify the performance barrier, and then you move right into identifying the action to change. And Khalia's done a beautiful job of really saying, okay, my performance barrier was it's noisy in the game. It gets really, too noisy for me to focus and be the great athlete that I want to be. The action to change is to find a focal point. Find something to focus on that brings you back to what matters to you. And it's wonderful when it's a mom or a parent, because it's all love and you can feel that. And when we don't have it, I really respect you saying there's a time when you had to find it. So, mom's not always going to be in the stand, or a parent. And the beautiful part is that's a new skill that you're learning. It's a rep that you're getting stronger at, and you're really moving into how do I control what I can control.